It's Monday, and this is the Morning Booster. Welcome back, everybody. We're here again for another week of me cracking open booster packs and talking about Magic. In today's video, we're going to continue my exploration or revisiting of the Core Set 2019. As I mentioned in Friday's video, I've been kind of interested in going back and looking at the set. I think it's an often maligned, looked down upon set, compared especially to some more recent sets like 2021 or Ikoria. But for me, I thought Core 20 set 2019 was a pretty decent set. I still never did get the cards I was primarily looking for out of the set, those being Crucible of Worlds and Nicola Bolas. So I'm hoping as I do this revisit of the set, I'll end up picking up those cards to add to my collection. With that said, why don't we go ahead and crack open today's booster. So for today's Core 2019 booster pack, we're starting off with an Omen Speaker. And even before I go any further, I do have to comment on the fact that maybe this is where I got trained on the expectation that booster packs should open a certain way in terms of the order of the cards. Because even now, just a couple packs in to these 2019 videos, I'm really appreciating the fact that the commons are on top, then it's the uncommons, then it's the rares, token, etc. So after Omen Speaker, we have Goblin Instigator. Is there any other kind of goblin? We have to ask that question. Aren't goblins naturally all instigators? I do like goblin themes in general when it comes to Magic. I think goblins, being one of the original creature types, is a fun callback to the heydays of Magic, like the Goblin King, etc. I do wonder, though, if the kobolds ever came back. There was another one, I think, from Legends that I had fond memory of that didn't pick up like the goblins did. And this is also me as a guy that grew up in my childhood playing D&D, so goblins were always a common threat, or you will, or a common occurrence within my games of Dungeons & Dragons. So I have a very fond recollection of them, and I feel like they are very much a race that's always appropriate to Magic, no matter what the theme is. Now, this guy in particular is an interesting one. He's 1 red, 1 colorless, and when he's brought to the battlefield, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. So, in effect, you're getting 2 goblins for the price of 1. Pretty sweet. I definitely would love to, at some point, explore a goblin deck as well. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'm still trying to tweak my casual human deck, so no point in moving on to the next creature type till I get the first one correct. After the Goblin Instigator, we have the Loxodon Linebreaker. So from these guys were originally from Mirrodin, which I also have a ton of memories of. We had a work league where we were playing Mirrodin for a while, and 5th Dawn. So I love that whole set, or whole block. And the Loxodons were cool. I don't necessarily think they were my favorite part of the set, but I do remember them fondly. Disperse, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. All right. Epicure of Blood. Whenever you gain a life, each opponent loses 1 life. 4/4, 1 black, 4 colorless. Vampire. Blah, blah. Okay. Hey, look at there. Titanic Growth. We've been seeing this boy lately in our casual games between Z and I. He's now started to understand what instance can be used for, or at least how to apply them in the order of a game. So he likes to drop this one on me with his his green-black deck, where I'll attack, he'll block, then he'll cackle, and he'll play his Titanic Growth. So seeing this card now, while it doesn't give me a lot of appreciation for Core 2019, it does make me really appreciate those games with my son and how much joy he gets out of using this particular card to knock out my little 1/1 soldiers. Okay, Marauder Axe. So equipped creature gets +2/+0. 2 to equip, 2 to cast. Pretty straightforward, easy enough. Okay, next up we have Shock. Seen this one before elsewhere as well. Nice little damage card. It's an instant. Deals 2 damage to any target. Handy if you're playing red. Okay. Totally Lost. Put target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. Whew. Decent card, but man, that's one hefty casting cost. That's a stinker in my opinion. Okay, we've got up next Centaur Corsair. Alright, so 3/3, 3 to cast. Nothing exciting. Artwork's not bad. Ooh, so here we go. Now we're getting into our uncommons. First one is an Elf Scout. This is the Gariper Guide. So for 1 green and 2 colors, target creature you control can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. So that's a good way to get around my little knights, my little 1/1 soldier drops that I use just as disposable chaff. So I can never say that word. But point being is that's a workaround if Zay was to put that in his deck. All right, so that was our first uncommon. Our next uncommon is Double Cast. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for it. Pretty good. Reminds me in some ways of Fork or Copy. Next up we have, boom, all right, Brawl Bash Ogre. I've seen this one before. So he's got Menace, and whenever Brawl Bash attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, he gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn. So not bad, fun little red-black critter. But that now gets to where we find out my rare or mythic for the day. So for this Monday, I end up with, boom, Spitfire. Okay, I don't remember this card at all. Spitfire deals 4 damage to target creature. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 red. If you do, Spitfire from your graveyard, return Spitfire from your graveyard to your hand. So useful. Decent casting cost. I could see a lot of play if you're doing a dragon deck. Certainly could see some options there. Don't know if this card gets much play nowadays or if it's worth anything, but pretty decent card. After that, we should have our land. Yep. All right. So this is Tranquil Expanse. And now this one's a little different from the one we've been seeing with the more recent sets because this comes into the battlefield tapped. There's no real benefit to it in that you don't get a life or anything like that or draw a card. But it is good for either one green or 1 white mana. So again, something I probably could use at some point. And then should be our token. And there it is. It's another soldier. Always need plenty of those right now with my white deck. So very cool. So I hope you've enjoyed my continued journey down memory lane with opening up these core 2019 booster packs. I'll be continuing to do this on Wednesday. Speaking of which, for the month of August, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut down the number of videos to 3 a week. They'll be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. The reason I'm doing this is primarily I want to spend a little bit more time working on each video, add a little bit more content to it, a little bit more research on my end. I really want to up the quality of these videos because I do appreciate you folks that have been watching them. I'm also kind of exploring a couple different themes going forward with the videos. I very much like videos with a theme to them, or channels that, you know, they have kind of like a rotating schedule. Like Mondays they do this sort of videos and Fridays they do these sort of videos. Similar to what I do with my Games Workshop channel, I want to start doing with this channel. So by kind of reducing the number of videos I put out each week to 3, I feel like I can better do that. But I certainly would love to hear your feedback. If you're enjoying just these little random trips down memory lane with old booster packs, let me know. Or if you've even got some thoughts on things you'd like to see as reoccurring themes on the channel, leave those in the comment section as well. If you are enjoying the channel, give me a like, or better yet, subscribe. And finally, as always, thanks for watching. Till next time, everybody.